Nigerian National Assembly complex will be open for legislative business on Tuesday, November 25, 2014. Nigerian Senate will equally resume plenary session tomorrow to continue deliberation on the controversial request from President Goodluck Jonathan on the extension of emergency rule in the three northeast states of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe. The National Assembly complex was shut down last week in the wake of siege by the men of Nigerian police and operatives of the Department of State Security Service. Last Thursday, 20th of November 2014, the day of the commotion in the National Assembly, was just like any other legislative day, as Senator and Honorable Member of the Assembly were prevented from gaining access into the complex. After much plea to the men of the police, who refused to open the gate of the complex, some irresistible member of the National Assembly forced the gate open while the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, made his way through into the complex, even with the tear gas canister flying around him with his entourage. The last straw that broke the camel's back was the tear gas that was released inside the lobby of the National Assembly complex, which shook almost everybody on site while some fainted. Confusion rented the air as legislative staffs were perplexed and stands in group to discuss the unfortunate incident. Some legislators openly protested against the sudden siege. The crisis even led to hot arguments along party line among members of the assembly.
Give us presidency, we will change everything. That is the issue. That is the issue. That is the issue. Wallahi, this is PDP. Wallahi,
this PDP now. Why is it about PDP?
The commotion made the Senate to round up its plenary session under 4 minutes into its sitting.
We have the representative on the Senate. It's unfortunate. We will invite the IG here on Tuesday also. You will recall that we had asked the service chiefs to be here. They were out here this morning, but I have spoken to them and I told them to be here on Tuesday. So there will be no business in the National Assembly today, and the place remains shut until Tuesday.
After adjourning till 3rd of December 2014, Speaker Aminu Tambuwal left the complex in the company of the member of the House who provided security cover. Security aid to speakers were withdrawn following its defection from ruling People Democratic Party to opposition party or Progressive Congress. With the ongoing Nigerian Senate, we resume to a stormy section when it reconvened this week. Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
As a fallout of the recent face-off between men of the Nigerian police force and some members of the House of Representatives, including the Speaker of the House, Aminu Tambuwal, The police high command has said that it is satisfied with the conduct of its officers and men as they were doing the needful to avoid breakdown of law and order. Speaking in a press briefing to give the public a hint about what transpired earlier, the first public relations officer, Emmanuel Ojukwu, said that they were acting on intelligence report.
On Wednesday, the 20th of on the 19th of this month, there was a mini conference by the All Progressive Congress at the Eagle Square. I want to inform you that the police were not informed of that mini conference or convention. We were not informed, but as soon as we got wind of it, the police mobilized appropriately and provided safety and security. The APC top officers, led by their chairman, a very senior citizen of Nigeria, an elder statesman, Odige Oyegu, and His Excellency Governor Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State, led a large number of APC followers, sympathizers, and so many never-do-wells, thugs, to the premises of the Nigeria Police Force headquarters. They came and blocked our gates for over 2 hours. We continue monitoring their actions and utterances. In the course of it, we had Governor Rotimi Amechi say that if they don't win the 2015 elections, they will form a parallel government. We heard that. We also heard that their storming the force headquarters was just the first step. That subsequently they will invade the INEC, National Assembly, and lastly, the presidential villa. We had credible intelligence that there will be mayhem at the premises of National Assembly. And it is our duty to protect lives and property. And so the police mobilized to check entrance and exit for a National Assembly. Both chambers were cordoned and adequate police and logistics deployed. Our intention and our mission was to screen everybody that entered that premises. From the Senate angle, all the senators were checked and they entered the premises, including the Senate President himself. But on the House of Reps side, a good number of them came and were screened and they entered. But as the Speaker was entering, he came with so many never-do-wells thoughts. Those that confirm our intelligence that there may be trouble in National Assembly.
On whether the leadership of both chambers were intimated of the development beforehand, the first PRO reacted this way.
Mark my words, you share intelligence with those who need to know. If they needed to know, we would have told them, but we acted in line with the best interests of this nation. I can assure you of that. Members were screened and they went in. Yes, but the way they came did not give room for proper screening because they were riotous right from the outset. In the course of it also, 6 of them attacked a policeman in uniform. And that led to the tear gas that dropped and spread to some of them. But I want to say that Nigeria Police is determined and resolute to make sure that in the build-up to the elections 2015, every political actor is made to play the game according to the rules.
When asked why the security aids of the Speaker was withdrawn, the first PRO office refused to react to it, claiming the issue is in court. So far, the police said that about 7 arrests have been made and they would be charged appropriately if found guilty. The police high command have just said that they are satisfied with the actions of officers and men of the police force that were on ground during the chaos in the National Assembly. One thing that is in the mouth of every Nigerian is this intelligence that they are talking about. How come the leadership of the assembly were not informed about it? From the police force headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefife for Ben Television News. In a bid to ensure that Nigerians have access to national health insurance, no matter their region, the National Health Insurance Scheme is in the advanced stage of plans to introduce and launch National Mobile Health Insurance Program, for Nigerians. This was disclosed to newsmen by the Executive Secretary of National Health Insurance Scheme, Dr. Femi Thomas, during a presentation of his first anniversary media scorecard of his tenure as the head of the organization.
It is a novel concept, being the first of its kind anywhere in the world. So, National Mobile Health Insurance Program is native to Nigeria. It's starting in Nigeria, and I'm proud to be a Nigerian. It provides for subscribers of the mobile network operators the platform to register, to select their HMOs and their providers, and choose payment options and plans, all on their mobile phone at their convenience.
To implement this, Dr. Femi Thomas said the scheme engaged a mobile technology and business aggregator to interface with stakeholders and manage the process.
And therefore, we Nigerians have adopted 2020 as the year for universal health coverage attainment in Nigeria. That was the decision of Council. Incidentally, like I said, there are three elements there. That is removal of physical barrier. That is making sure that there are facilities manned by competent hands and well-equipped for service. That is one element. The other element is ability for people to be able to pay. To scale this hurdle, it will require that the financial barriers are removed. Thirdly, services must be qualitative. Incidentally, 2 out of these 3 rest with us. That is removal of financial barriers and ensuring quality before we send enrollees to these facilities.
Speaking further on the achievements of the scheme in the past 1 year, the Executive Secretary said the flagship program in the informal sector, which is the community-based social health insurance, has been thriving since its inception.
Our efforts began with a management retreat in December last year, during which time we undertook a comprehensive assessment of the strengths, the weaknesses, and opportunities available to the scheme. At the end of the exercise, it became obvious that we have the capacity not only to meet the presidential target of 30% coverage, but indeed to surpass it. It is to our collective credit that within the last 1 year, enrollment figure went up by about 2 million in our register, and this is about 40% of the total figure for the preceding 8 years. And so as of today, the total enrollment figure stands at 7.2 million lives in our register. Let me assure all Nigerians that it is still our clear view today, as it was last December, that this is doable. I think that's the language now in NHIS.
He therefore used the medium to call on stakeholders to embrace national health insurance, as this is a way to ensure a healthy nation.
I'm aware that progress in any organization revolves around staff welfare and motivation. I therefore wish to pledge my unfailing commitment to the constant improvement in conditions under which our staff operate.
From Abuja, I am Festus Ejirogenefifen for Ben Television News.
Nigerian Army has declared that it will not leave any part of the country's territory in the hand of the insurgents, saying it has made some remarkable progress in the ongoing campaign to recover territory taken over by Boko Haram in the northeastern state of the country. Nigerian Army spokesman Brigadier General Olajide Laleye made this known at a news conference in Abuja to herald this year's Chief of Army Staff Conference scheduled to take place in Akwa Ibom State next month.
New strategies have been adopted, and those strategies have been introduced into the Northeast operation. And that is why all of you here, and not only all of you, but law-abiding Nigerians and even the international community are acknowledging the fact that remarkable gains have been done or have been made in the Northeast. As to tell you which territories are still in the hands of the Boko Haram in the Northeast, that will not be possible, because as we speak, operations are ongoing So I may mention a village or a town that is, I think, is in the hands of Boko Haram, only for me to leave this conference and find out that the Nigerian army has regained or overrun such a village. So it will not be possible at this point to start naming the villages and towns that are still in the hands of Boko Haram. What is most important is that the Nigerian army will not leave any territory of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the hands of dissidents, in the hands of insurgents and terrorists.
Brigadier General Laleye also explained the benefit of the forthcoming Army Conference.
The Chief of Army Staff Conference is organized primarily to review Nigerian Army's activities in the outgoing year and make projections for the coming year in order to enhance our operational readiness. The conference, therefore, will provide an avenue for the Nigerian Army leadership to reassess its preparedness to carry out its constitutional roles.
He said that Uyo Conference will adopt a town hall meeting format to achieve the required success.
The Chief of Army Staff introduced this town hall format, whereby there is more interaction between the leadership of the Nigerian Army and other officers, those in command and those that are not in command, down to the lowest level. Now, that particular format was seen to have produced very remarkable results, whereby junior leadership, middle leadership were able to make meaningful contributions to the conference. Consequently, this annual conference will adopt the same format. It's the opportunity for, like I said, for the junior leadership and the middle leadership to actually express some of their ideas, calculations, observations to the Chief of Army Staff and every other senior officer of the Nigerian Army.
Meanwhile, 3 captains of Nigerian Army have been promoted to the rank of Major for their outstanding performance in the ongoing campaign against Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast. From Nigerian Army Headquarters, Abuja, Muyiwa Bamidele reporting.
Stakeholders of the Nasarawa State chapter of People's Democratic Party (PDP) have called on the federal government to declare a state of emergency in the state as a matter of urgency, so as to forestall the destruction of lives and properties currently being experienced almost on a daily basis within villages and settlements in the state. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, stakeholders of the party under the aegis of Nasarawa State PDP stakeholders accused Governor Tanko Amakura of sponsoring ethnic cleansing in the state.
The security situation in Nasarawa State has worsened in recent weeks, following the importation of large number mercenaries who have now embarked on widespread destruction of villages, towns, and communities spread across Nasarawa South and Nasarawa North senatorial zones of Nasarawa State. The mercenaries, who are armed with the latest assault weapons, have destroyed more than 45 towns and villages in the last 2 weeks.
The group also accused the state government of hiring and sustaining these mercenaries in order to completely dislocate the voting population, thereby making it easy for the state governor to return as the governor of Nasarawa State come 2015.
The attacks, which are highly professional and military in nature, are carried out either in the night, early hours of every morning, or even in the broad daylight, as the mercenaries have absolute superiority in weaponry and freedom of movement. Let it be stated clearly that all available information shows that what is going on is not an ethnic war between Igon and Fulani, Alago, Megili, as widely claimed by the state government. On the contrary, the violent destruction of lives and properties is being carried out by imported mercenaries who are brought in by the governor and his agents and are giving specific instructions to wipe out communities, towns, and settlements in a clear program of political and ethnic cleansing to achieve a specific political objective. Presently, the state is threatened with near collapse of public order, while anarchy is increasingly becoming the order of the day. All this havoc committed by Tongo Almakura are more grievous than what happened in Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno, where the state of emergency was declared. Therefore, calling for the declaration of state of emergency in Nasarawa State would not be out of place.
The group therefore used the medium to call on the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to speed up the distribution of relief materials to displaced persons scattered all over the state. Very prominent among members of the group are the immediate past Information Minister Labaran Mako, former governor of the state Akwe Doma, current deputy governor of the state, senators and House of Assembly members, including other PDP officials. From Abuja, Nigeria, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefife for Ben Television News.
The European Union has called on Nigerian politicians to desist from using hate speeches that could motivate violence against political opponents. Addressing journalists in Abuja through EU ambassador and head of delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mr. Michel Erion, who cited the statement made by Katsina State Governor Ibrahim Shema, urged Nigerians to work towards ensuring peaceful election in 2015.
Violent elections, non-peaceful elections will not be credible. No, it's not yes or no, it's not black and white. We know there will be a certain number of cases of violence. You cannot have violence-free election, but you cannot have credible election without a global peaceful atmosphere. So they will look at that. They will also look at not only the presidential but also the gubernatorial. They will start with, we hope, observing the primaries. That's why we hope they will come very soon, because the primaries will take place.
Mr. Erion confirmed that an EU election observer mission to Nigeria would be in the country on a long-term basis to observe the election process.
Those observers are primarily experts, and they are neutral, they are objective, they are independent. Their profession is to be electoral observer. Yesterday they were in Afghanistan. The 6 months before they were in Nicaragua. You see, so they have, I would say, a good general views on elections everywhere in the world. And if we have been able to observe elections in Afghanistan, probably we should be able to observe elections in Nigeria. So even the whole issue of security is a major concern, but it's not an obstacle, it's not a hurdle to have a good observation. There are ways and means to observe, even in a very dangerous environment.
The EU representative further called on Nigerian government to create a regional intelligence unit and task force to help fight insurgency, mostly in northeastern part of Nigeria. LM Chukwemeka reports for Ben TV.